We have two great apartment living options in Brownsville for UTB and TSC students. Border Apartments at 375 Media Luna Road is conveniently located on Highway 7783 and a quarter-mile south of Sunrise Mall. Our second option, Los Cedros Apartment, offers countless comforts and is located at 1025 Wild Rose Lane. For an exclusive discount on your first month's rent, call the Borders Apartments at 956-546-1605 or Los Cedros Apartments at 956-542-1941. Both offers expire December 31st.
At T-Mobile, get 4 lines of unlimited talk, text, and data on its network for just $100 a month. Now with 10 gigabytes of 4G LTE data until 2016. That's up to 2.5 gigabytes per line. Switch today. Tax and fees additional. See store for offer details.
Finance your vehicle and receive 1% cash back with Valley Federal Credit Union's holiday promotions. Certain restrictions may apply. For more details, call 956-546-3108 in Brownsville, 956-425-5668 in Harlingen, or visit www.vfcu.net. Hello and welcome to the Collegian News Webcast. I'm Clady Quesada.
And I'm Master Castillo, here to bring you this week's stories.
With UT Rio Grande Valley opening in fall 2015, students are asking how much tuition and fees will increase. Kayla Contreras has a story.
Students voiced their concerns about the tuition and fee increase of UTRGV for fall 2015. About 100 UT Brownsville students attended the Tuition and Fees Task Forum on November 20th, where officials presented a proposed guaranteed tuition rate that is based on the number of credit hours a student has taken. If approved, the rates will take effect on fall 2015 when UTB and UT Pan American will consolidate to form the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. The guaranteed tuition plan for undergraduates is fixed for 4 years.
Should the need rise that the student can't accomplish that degree within the 4 years and had to go to a 5th year, then they would actually slide down into the next cohort, which started the year after they started in 2016, so they'd see a slight increase in their overall cost for that 5th year. Should they need a 6th year, they would slide to that 3rd cohort that was actually the entering class in 2017, so they still see another small price increase.
Under the plan, entering freshmen and students who have less than 29 credit hours and register for 15 credit hours would pay $3,650 per academic year for 4 years, compared with the current rate of $2,964.31 for 15 hours posted on the UTB website. Tuition for graduate students taking 9 semester credit hours would be $3,252.50. Government and psychology major Vanessa Sandoval asked if the Brownsville campus will receive as much funding as the Edinburgh campus.
Will the Brownsville campus get as much funding as it is in Edinburgh, or how will that work?
Through the budget process is how tuition revenue would get allocated, and I think that it wouldn't be difficult to present to students, in some sort of, whether it be a presentation or posting on the website, to see what is your tuition dollar doing at that point, how it's being used. I think is a fair.
Baylor did not provide any information on proposed fees, but according to a press packet given to reporters at the forum, the task force is recommending eliminating certain fees and funding these activities with designated tuition and the creation of a university services fee. The task force will forward recommendations to UTRGV President Guy Bailey this month, and the final proposal will be submitted to the University of Texas system in mid-December for consideration by the Board of Regents in February. For the Collegian News, I'm Kayla Contreras.
A state district judge has ruled on whether a temporary injunction be issued in the city of Brownsville's conveyance of Lincoln Park to the University of Texas system. Michelle Garcia was there.
State District Court Judge Arturo Nelson denied the temporary injunction on November 20th for the Lincoln Park lawsuit. The hearing for this injunction was held November 19 at the 138th District Court, where Judge Nelson heard arguments from the 3 attorneys present: Michael Cowan, representing the plaintiffs, Mark Saucy, representing the city, and Bill Dean, representing the University of Texas system and the University of Texas at Brownsville. Nelson also heard the testimony of former Brownsville Mayor Pat Ahumada, a real estate appraiser. Cowan first addressed the alleged conflict of interest Commissioner Rose Gowan had while voting on the issue. Saucy's response was that Gowan is an employee of the UT Health Science Center at Houston and therefore has no relation to the UT Brownsville and no conflict of interest. Almada then testified that the land's current market value is of $11 million. Saucy and Dean questioned his appraisal, claiming it was not accurate, and even requested that his appraisal not be accepted as an exhibit. Cowan also argued that no election was held for the conveyance of Lincoln Park. Saucy argued that the vote was to commence negotiation, not for the conveyance of the land, and that the injunction was unnecessary because no funds had been spent. Judge Nelson ended the hearing in a recess so he could go over all the exhibits. His ruling was given the next day, denying the temporary injunction.
For the Collegian News, I'm Michelle Garcia.
The Brownsville City Commission has tabled action on issuing $26.7 million in general obligation refunding bonds. Michelle Garcia explains.
The City Commission meeting on November 18 sped by quickly and smoothly. The issuance of $26.7 million in general obligations refunding bonds was scheduled for the November 18th meeting. Deputy City Manager Pete Gonzalez submitted a request instead.
Members of the City Commission, we request that this item be tabled for the December 2nd meeting.
His request was approved. The City Commission awarded a contract for several sidewalk and bus stop improvements to D&G Energy Corporation of McAllen in the amount of $330,070. Another contract was awarded to the Cupco Construction of Brownsville for street paving and drainage for San Marcelo Boulevard in the amount of $1,403,070. J-Quad Planning Group of Addison, Texas was awarded a $71,600 contract to prepare a 5-year consolidated regional plan for the U.S. Housing and Urban Development Program for the cities of Brownsville, San Benito, and Harlingen. Commissioners also awarded a contract for purchase of a financial investigation system for the Brownsville Police Department Financial Asset Seizure Team to Actionable Intelligence Technologies, Inc. of McLean, Virginia, in the amount of $50,063.74. Mariel Hall, President and CEO of the Brownsville Chamber of Commerce, informed the city about Small Business Saturday and Vive Brownsville program.
For the Collegian News, I'm Michelle Garcia.
The Texas Southmost College Jacob Brown Auditorium opened its doors to thousands of Brownsville residents for HEB's annual Feast of Sharing. Karina Aguirre tells us more.
HEB sponsored the 22nd annual Feast of Sharing in Brownsville, in which employees and volunteers came together to serve the South Texas community. The tradition began in 1989 in Laredo and Corpus Christi. This year, the grocery store chain will sponsor about 40 feasts located across Texas and in Mexico.
The whole purpose of the Feast of Sharing is to provide meals for those who may not traditionally be able to enjoy a Thanksgiving meal. It's our way, HEB's way of saying thank you to our communities for supporting us throughout the years and again, giving back to the community.
The Jacob Brown Auditorium was bursting with members of the community eager to enjoy the food. Many students and staff from Brownsville Independent School District high schools such as Porter and Lopez volunteered along with employees from Whataburger, South Texas Vocational Technical Institute, and residents of the Winter Haven Resort.
How does it feel serving the people of your community?
It was awesome. It was such a beautiful feeling. My students commented how honored they were to have served them.
Would you recommend this volunteering service to anybody else?
Oh yes, everybody should come and give back to the community. It's a beautiful thing.
Inside the auditorium, hundreds of volunteers helped to serve plates that contained sliced turkey breast smothered in brown gravy, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce, dressing, green beans, and a dinner roll with a pat of butter, and for dessert, a slice of pumpkin pie. While enjoying their warm holiday meal, residents were entertained with a variety of local performers.
For the Collegian News, I'm Karina Aguirre.
Here is Monica Gudiño with this week's Before and After Christmas edition.
For our final Before and After, we show you how to decorate a Christmas tree.
If you don't want to spend money on a real Christmas tree, you can get a small artificial one that you can place on a side table in your living room or in the nightstands next to your bed. I bought a tree that comes with the lights already wrapped around it, and the first step is checking to see if the lights work, and then placing them on the tree either vertically or horizontally. After the lights, I used shiny red, green, and yellow plastic string beads on the tree. You can also use tinsel or ribbon. Here comes the fun part. Pick the ornaments of your liking, colored spheres, figurines, or even plastic flowers, and you can also use candy canes. I picked plastic figurines in the shape of Christmas characters, like an angel, snowman, Santa Claus, and a teddy bear, among others. I also adorned it with little plastic apples. For the top of the tree, you can use a star, an angel, or a ribbon, handmade or store-bought. I used a handmade ribbon. But the most important part of decorating your Christmas tree is having fun while doing it and enjoying the Christmas spirit that is in the air.
For the Collegian News, I'm Monica Udiño.
Here's Alberto Garcia with this week's 15 seconds.
This week, we asked students to share their opinions on final exams. This is what they had to say.
Well, I think you shouldn't stress too much over them. Like, they're important, no doubt, but if you've been doing good the rest of the semester, I mean, just carry on as you have been doing. Maybe a little extra studying only, but if you stress yourself out too much, you're just gonna scare yourself and you can't really work at the time. So I'd say just do as you were doing, and maybe a little extra work, but it's just another test.
I don't like them, and I feel very stressed.
How many do you have this semester?
I'm taking 4. I think 4 or 5.
And which one would you say is your hardest one?
Biolab, probably. I don't like biology.
Well, you know, we've been going over all of our material all year, so I believe that I'll pull through.
Mi opinión es que pues yo voy a tener 4 exámenes finales y con el que voy a batallar un poco es el de álgebra, pero espero que con mucho estudio lo pase y les recomiendo a todos que estudien mucho porque esto es muy importante para lo que vas a estudiar o para tus grados.
We hope everybody does well on their final exams, and we thank you for sharing your opinions with us this semester. For the Collegian News, I'm Alberto Garcia.
Here's Jesus Sanchez with the final Fall 2014 Ocelot Sports Roundup.
The final chapter of UT Brownsville Athletics is about to begin as 2 of its teams prepare for a shot at national titles.
UTB and the University of Texas Pan American will consolidate next fall to become the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. The National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics Men's Soccer National Tournament resumes today in Delray Beach, Florida. In the opening round of the NAIA Men's Soccer National Tournament, the number 2 UTB men's soccer team defeated the Rocky Mountain College Bears 2-1 November 22nd at the Brownsville Sports Park. The men's victory has helped them qualify for the NAIA Sweet 16. This is the first time in UTB history that the men's soccer program has qualified for the NAIA Sweet 16. After defeating the Huston-Tillotson University Rams 2-1 on November 14, the UTB women's soccer team lost 1-2 to the Our Lady of the Lake University Saints in the championship match of the Red River Athletic Conference Tournament, held November 15 in the Houston Amateur Sports Park. After receiving a bye in the opening round, the number 5 ranked UT Brownsville volleyball team will compete in the NAIA tournament, which will begin Tuesday in Sioux City, Iowa. In the NAIA National Cross Country Meet, held November 22nd in Lawrence, Kansas, Vanessa Garcia finished 174th place out of 336 runners in the women's 5K race. David Guillen finished 81st, and Hector Becerra finished 250th out of 323 runners in the men's 8K race.
For the Collegian News, I'm Jesus Sanchez.
Noche de Estrellas. UT Brownsville's annual Student Talent Showcase was held November 19. Magali Rosales has the scoop.
Singing, dancing, and poetry reading were some of the talents shown at Noche de Estrellas.
It was very interesting. We had a variety of acts tonight. Everybody was loving it. Everybody fell in love with the performers. And I was just really glad to see everybody come out and even the talent that we had today. Very surprised.
About 75 students, family, and friends attended to support the contestants. Nursing freshman Damian Martinez won first place and $300 by performing a song he wrote, Conquista Hoy Mi Corazón.
Santidad quiero vivir, rendir mi vida a Él, entregarme todo a ti. Y Dios afirma hoy mi corazón.
Martinez said he decided to participate in Noche de Estrellas because God had planned for him to bless others through his music.
He was the one that inspired me the whole time to do it and to bless others with my music.
Second place winners were the duet BMR, composed of Risa Rodriguez, a senior government major, and Enrique Reta, a Texas State Technical College drafting major, who performed a cover of Beyonce's Crazy in Love. They received $150.
Got me hoping you page me right now. Your kiss got me hoping you save me right now. Looking so crazy in love. Got me looking so crazy in love.
Third place was a tie between senior Spanish major Ileana Salazar, who performed a hip-hop dance mix, and Ricky Alexander, a graduate biology student who performed 2 Bob Dylan songs. They both received $50 each.
For the Collegian News, I'm Magali Rosales. Thank you for joining us this week. I'm Clary Quesada.
And I'm Marcia Castillo. Thank you for watching us this fall semester.
Happy holidays, and we hope to see you here next spring.